Hi everyone, cheers for the comments. Thanks for tuning in as well. Yeah, I hope everyone's had a good week. Mine's been all right. It's been a bit hectic, mainly because my daughter Sophie's not been working with me. She's got a few things on, so there's some more important things for her to deal with. But other than that, we're all right. It's just been me and my son. So yeah, it's been quite hard getting through the work for two of us when there's normally three. But luckily, it's not been too bad. The windows are relatively clean between the cleans I'm doing, so it's all right. But I know summer's definitely coming, hence what I was saying. Spring is getting here. It's definitely looks like that way anyway. I know this week was meant to be really good, wasn't it? But the last 3 days where I am, or four even if you include yesterday, Saturday, the weather turned a bit. It's definitely got colder. Yesterday we were working, it was really windy, and we even had little bits of sleet, but there was sunshine as well, which was handy. Could have been worse, but the best thing is I've got all my work done this week, so it's been another good week of getting everything in that was planned, which is making me better anyway. I need a good month to try and right the ship. In fact, I need a couple of good months to get back on track. We've all had a last 3 months, isn't it? It's been pretty bad, so yeah, it feels good to see spring's getting here. I've seen a few bees out and about, which has been nice to see. You start seeing these things, don't you? Whether it's because I'm getting old, I don't know. Sort of makes you smile, doesn't it, when you see them? So, and I've noticed the mood amongst your customers, it's lifting only slightly. We're not quite got spring full on yet, but it's coming, isn't it? And it's all good for us because it means we can get out there working. I've had quite a few things coming in as well. Yes, Ched. Sorry, mate. I'll just get your comment up for everyone to see. Oh, I use a different one. Yeah, unfortunately, we've got 2 Easter holidays coming up soon. Yeah, is it this Friday, isn't it? And Monday, bank holiday. So I just got to sort something out on here. I believe it's only the last couple of years where I've sort of altered the way I was working. I'm now taking bank holidays off. So my son and daughter don't have to work. They used to always work with me. And I was constantly working. It's not good for your family, is it? So, but it's only good if you're financially can afford not to. It's the bank balance that makes you decide if you work on a bank holiday or not. Luckily with me, I've noticed all my customers have been fine for work on a bank holiday. A lot of people still work, don't they? You just get the odd few that say no because they've got people around. But I tend to take my bank holidays off now if I can. Even if I haven't got enough money in the bank, but it's not too bad, I'll still do it. But when you're brassic, you've got to do what you've got to do, haven't you? But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward actually to having those days off because I am absolutely knackered. I'm showing my age a bit, I think. The kids are laughing at me and so is the missus. This week anyway, I've been nodding off, falling asleep come like 9:30 down on the sofa in the front room. But yeah, when you're busy working, like I say, there's 2 of us doing the work of 3 people. You're just constantly on the go, aren't you? I'm trying to battle to get back at a decent time so we can all have tea together and I can walk the dog, that sort of thing. But you've got all your invoicing and everything to do afterwards, and you're always tinkering, aren't you? Sorting stuff out for the next day, make sure it's all in order. So it can be long days, but hey, I like it. I wouldn't do it otherwise. But it is nice to know spring's getting here. Some of my customers are starting to ask for fascia soffits and gutters. In fact, some of them have been asking like a month ago, but have always said when the weather starts to get better. And so I just seen this comment come in, wrong button. Work the kids harder. That was the one. It's made me tickle. Yeah, you know what kids are like, innit? When they always try and push things out if they don't want to, but you've got an uphill fight, haven't you? But you get there, you win in the end. Well, I do. It takes a while though. But yeah, they are good. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do everything I've done. But then again, that's helping pay their wages as well, isn't it? I don't know if you notice finding things are getting a bit tighter there with, like I said, I think I said it in the last one, other customers, you're noticing things are getting tighter, people are feeling the pinch, and this is what we probably were expecting over a year or even 2 years ago. Seems like it's been a delay, but it's getting to show more, I think, and with other businesses. So it's like, even if you work in a factory, in it's not safe. A factory closed down, that's 900 people or whatever suddenly out of a job, and you've got all that pressure to find another one. So I'll keep working hard with the window cleaning, I think, and just trying to somehow hang in there. I ain't going to get rich, but it's keeping me kind of fit. So with the spring coming here, you're starting to think, get that summer body out. So I've lost a bit more weight as well. I've lost nearly a stone now. It's all heading the right way. It's not as easy as what it used to be when I was younger, but I'm feeling better for it. I'm feeling happier anyway. But then again, that's probably why I'm falling asleep a lot in the evenings as well. Need all that extra energy, really, don't you? But yeah, there we go. But yeah, you're getting the fascia softeners and gutters in. I've done some gutter clears last Saturday with my son. My other younger son, he come out and volunteered to help as well. So he must be desperate for money. But he was a big help as well. We did a job we do for someone who's elderly. Unfortunately, lost his wife a couple of years ago as well. And she booked us in quite a few years back, and we've been doing it ever since. Just an annual job where we do all the fascia softeners and gutters, clear out all the gutters. We clean 2 conservatory roofs and all these windows as well. And he appreciates that, and I like doing it. And then we had another job where it's probably the toughest gutter clear I've ever done. Luckily, it was a bungalow. It's one of those ones where it's obviously someone's moved into the bungalow and brought it, but the people before have not looked after it, basically. So there was a ton of mud inside the gutter. So it's really thick, and obviously with the water, it's got really compact down, so it's quite hard to get it all out. And I was using my gutter vac thinking it'd be easy. The gutters were black plastic because the sun was out at this point. It was casting a shadow inside the gutter, so it was hard to see with the camera. So I was thinking, oh, I've got everything out. But because I wasn't completely 100% and something was just not giving me that good vibe, I was double checking and I could see actually there was mud still in the bottom where it's all compact. There was 3 wires inside running along the length of this particular gutter. So I knew that could cause problems because you get a lot of stuff underneath them, don't you? And when you lift the cables up, it throws stuff all over on the floor. And it was all shingle, so it's even harder to clear up. You can't just sweep it up. But I ended up going up there and doing bits by hand after I'd done the initial pass with the gutter vac to get the most of it out. And then I was piling it up and then hoovering it all out again. And basically I had to work my way around like that. But got it completely clear for the customer anyway. And then we got another window cleaning. So I didn't get home that day, Saturday, till about 6:15. So it was a long day for us. But we got there, got it done. Otherwise it just mounts up, doesn't it? So cracked on, got it. It was there. I only work one Saturday a month, but this would have been the second Saturday in a particular month just for these gutter clears. And then while I was doing one, the neighbour had come out and asked me to quote for her gutters and to have all the fascia softeners and gutters done as well. And we're going to spruce up the side of her conservatory because obviously it's white PVC, but UPVC, sorry. But it's got green algae on it and that. So, yeah, another sign that summer's coming and people want things spruced up ready for the summer, don't they? So these jobs should start coming in thick and fast soon. And then you've got the longer hours, the longer days to get them done as well. So I'm hoping the extra work that will come in with these jobs will help get me back up on top again and then ready to lose a lot during winter. Something's just happened, I'm not sure. Sorry, I think someone's at the door, so the doorbell's come on. That's all right, I thought the computer crashed. Oh, and I've got a bizarre story as well. Well, it's bizarre for me. Hi, window washer. Thanks for joining in. I was cleaning a customer of mine and they'd had visitors and there was a lady come to the door. I thought it was going to be the lady of the house, but it wasn't. So I'd said hello and then basically I've had someone ask me for a selfie because her husband is a window cleaner, is a window cleaner. So they're related to my customer. And when they were talking about me, he said, oh, I watch his videos on YouTube. So he wasn't there. So his missus said, he won't believe this, asked for a selfie and would show him. So I think it was, is it JP Windows, something like that. I can't remember. She did say, but I had right brain fog. But either way, it made me have a big smile on my face for the rest of the day. So yeah, that was a first. And then my son thought it was really funny when I told him the story as well. So it got us laughing anyway. Well, I've noticed now that people are booking to have everything done. Yeah, like we said, soffits and gutters, conservatory roofs, they're all good ones. It's another sign, like you say, spring's getting here and people can see it's getting that way. So they're starting to think about these jobs that need doing, getting all that green algae off that's built up over winter, get everywhere ready for the summer, really. So it is popular then, and I have some customers do it on the reverse side. So when it starts to get near winter, they do the same thing, so it's nice and clean over winter as well. And yeah, it's another good sign, isn't it? Spring's coming. All these jobs hopefully will start rolling in. I never really push that I do these things. Obviously, my customers know I do these things, and some of them always get me to do it around springtime. And sometimes I suggest it's better to do it in spring rather than like when it's the spider mating season around September, because everything just gets cobwebs within minutes. And yeah, they're going to come in. Famous at last. I'm not rich though. But yeah, no, it did make me chuckle, mate. It was funny. So yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's getting here, and I'm starting to feel a bit better. It's still been cold though, at the moment. So I think we've got some more cold weather to come in. I reckon give it another month, we'll definitely have the warmer weather and maybe breaking the shorts out. And that would just seem weird and take us some getting used to after wearing trousers for so long. Hopefully I've slimmed down enough so I can fit in my shorts by then. But yeah, it's coming in and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be nice. Sunglasses out. Because you're getting that glare off the windows or the render when you're driving. All them sort of things will come out, won't they? And then you won't be able to wear your gloves to keep your hands nice and clean because of your carbon poles, because it would just be too hot. So there are days I've took my gloves off just because they are sweating, they are too hot, and I'm just having to clean my hands with Swarthega when I get home to get all the carbon stains off. So it's getting there. And today I've cleaned out my van, sorted out my gutter vac, completely turned all that round. I've cleaned all the poles, re-lubricated them all up again. So everything's squared away to use my gutter vac next time. I've just got to get more fuel for the jerry can. And then I'm good to go. And I'm sure I'm going to have some more gutter jobs come up as well. But I've got another couple of big jobs lined up for fascia sofas and gutters, and they're having the conservatory roof cleaned, the full works basically, which your cleaner windows was pointing out as well. So these jobs are coming in. I was on Macintosh podcast a while back, and then I was spotted by another window cleaner who listened to it. Yeah, I like listening to Ashley's podcasts. They just don't seem to be as often as they once were when he first started, because obviously he's got a lot on and he's doing various things. I used to save it up for my Saturday job, because there's a Saturday job we do with the whole family, all my kids. So there's basically 6 of us working, me, my missus and the 4 kids. And then it's something I like to listen to. It's about long enough well, it's more than long enough. Or the job is for me to listen to his podcast, and I quite enjoy listening to that and everyone else. Yeah, it's good. The window washer, I've had a few people walk up to me this week to ask for quotes. I did a little fascia clean today. I don't push this side of things too much, but it's nice to do a few of these here and there. Yeah, I don't really like pushing my services out. I just know if someone asks, they're definitely interested, aren't they, for a start? So more likely to go for it until they probably see the quote. But a lot of them, they just want it done. And when you've got a good name, isn't it, about your villages and whatnot, it spreads. People see you out and about, and you sort of seem to be the go-to person for it. And I like doing them. They're coming up, but I don't know whether to put stuff out there on social media a bit more. I don't tend to do anything, but I might, make little videos, that sort of thing, just to advertise what you're doing, to maybe see if it attracts more work. I don't know. I'm definitely thinking of doing it for the gutter season with all my gutter equipment. We'll see, because you need to build that pot up for the winter, don't you? I'm busy enough as it is, probably like you all as well. What do I use to lube up the poles? What's it called? I can't remember. I'm sure it's called Rapid. and it's basically a PTFE spray. It's £2 something, but it does very quickly run out. It's not a massive tin, but when you give it a little squirt, a lot comes out, so it empties quite quick. So it's probably better off spending something double the price that will last longer. It's about the same. I got it because I normally use something else. It's the WD-40 PTFE. Is it the dry one? I use that one normally. A big can, you can get it off Amazon and it just gets delivered to your door. It's cheaper as well, I think, doing it that way. Or it was at the time. But I need something straight away. And I just went down to a local shop near me and I saw they had this rapid stuff. So I buy 2 tins at a time. And I gave it a go and actually it performed quite well. Because sometimes, you know, about halfway through the week, you can tell the lube is starting to wear off. Well, this tends to last me a week. So I'm still using it. That's what I tend to use. The one I really, really loved, God, what was it called? Jigsaw Innovations. He did a pole spray, and I used to really, really love that. I used to use that. It would last me pretty much a whole week, and it'd be just as good as day one by the time it got to about day 5. Day 6, you can tell it would need cleaning again. And that was awesome. I loved that stuff. I've tried different ones, like ones off Window Cleaning Warehouse. I'm sure there's another one somewhere else, and I wasn't too happy with those. It sort of lasted a few days and just felt like it needed a new spray again. So that's why I went to Jigsaw Innovations. But when I don't know what happened to him, but you can't find his website anymore and get the stuff. It was really good. That's the stuff I liked. So I used the WD-40, but now I've just using this rapid stuff. It's a local shop near me. It's easy to run to and grab it, and I'm happy enough using it at the moment. Just thought we'd give it a go. Hi, Nelly. I hope everyone else is busy as well. It's good to be busy, isn't it? What's this one? GT45 PTFE spray from Aldi. Is that the one where it's like a black clan red logo with white writing? I think I've got some of that stuff, but I used to use it on the bike chains. There you go. Yeah, you can have a look at that one. God, I'll just see first if I can find a picture of what I'm on about. Rapid PTFE spray. Right, I've got a picture. I just can't get it to completely come up. Right, just bear with me. Sorry, just having a look on the computer, trying to get a decent picture up. As normally, you put stuff in, there's loads that comes up. Right, how can I get a picture of this up? Okay, here we go. Just bear with me. This is pretty much the make anyway, where it says Rapid PTFE lubricant, and obviously it just comes like the WD-40 one. It says £12.79 each there for 300 mils. I pay £2.60, but I'm not sure if it's 300 mils. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit cheaper. So yeah, that's too expensive. A lot of things on eBay I've noticed a lot more. I don't know if that comes as a pack of 4 actually, is why it's probably £12.79, even though it says each. Because it says here, protect ×4. And then the one I used before that was this one, WD-40 dry PTFE spray. You can get them from Wix. That's where I used to get mine from all the time until I started to use Amazon, because it just gets dropped off in your door. And where's the... Ooh. I did see the one with there we go, GT85. Just got to load up. And obviously it's probably the PTFE is the version you want. It does, yeah, original PTFE dry lubricant. £4.63 with VAT, and obviously you're going to get your post and packaging on that. But if you've got Amazon Prime, they sell it on there. Again, you can get them from Wix and places like that. Oh. Okay, Robert Moore says spotless pole clean window cleaning supplies. Spotless, sorry. I'll have a look for that. Just bear with me. Spotless window cleaning supplies. Let's see what comes up. Okay, this is what I've come up with the website, whether it's the one you're on about, mate, for everyone else. I'm pretty sure it probably is. So search, yep. Pole clear. Is that the one you're trying to say, Rob, mate? Where it says pole care, pole cleaner? Yeah, I think that's the one. It's £6.79 on their website. I take it that's probably with VAT. Silicon free, 250ml bottle. And then it's saying spray or wipe onto surface, remove with a clean cloth, dries within seconds, leaves a protective film. And it looks like they do the pole spray I used to use, which is the Vision pole spray. You can see that's a lot more expensive. This is stuff I used to use. I absolutely loved this. But because Jigsaw Innovations went, I just thought you can't get it anymore. That's probably worth a shout as well, isn't it? Rob, how long does that last you? A bottle about that size if you say to do your poles once a week? Okay, what's the general feeling about gardener poles? Do people have any other makes, or do they prefer or rate more highly? Or that they prefer or rate more highly? Good question. Sorry, Rob, just come back to you, mate. That's the one I use. Okay, cheers. Thanks, buddy. I'll just put it up for everyone as well. So that's what Rob uses, pole care, pole lubrication fluid. It's probably worth a punt, isn't it? I'll get some in after this, to be honest. Could be worth doing a video on. Thing is, you don't know, do you? You could get recommendations of people, but you ain't going to know until you try it, really, are you? But at the end of the day, if it's going to last longer even than the cheap ones and save me more money, and if it lasts me a whole week, I'd be happy with it. Because I'm using, you think I'm doing 20 to 22 cleans a day. Obviously not just on my own, but your pole's moving up and down. It's the first and second section you're going to use a lot, and they're going to wear and probably dry up quicker. But just going back to this question as well, if anyone wants to answer this one. Me personally, I love using the X-Line poles because I went with X-Line when I got suited out and kitted out from the start. So I've kind of stuck with their make really, and I haven't had any complaints with it. I did start with the old hybrid poles because that's what they suggested me use when I was starting out, and I can understand why, because of budget. And if things aren't going to work out, last you want to fork out too much money on kit. But I soon realised they are horrible poles, and then I got a carbon. I went straight to a basically a high mod pole, which is the Nano, because I had a problem with my van. So I was working out of a car using a gardener's backpack, 25 litre barrels of water. It was killing my shoulders, and the only thing I knew kit wise that I could do at the time was to get a high mod pole. and I used a credit card, got it. Glad I did, because it did make a bit of a difference, and I've used it ever since. And some of the angles I clean windows at with sometimes, I'm really glad I've got that pole. And I brought that pole for my son when I could afford to, because he's got scoliosis on his back, and that's made his life a bit easier. He did have a carbon fibre one, that's what I got him to start with straight away. So we use that now as an inspection pole when I use my gutter vacuuming. So I use the Skycam on that. And when I've cleaned the odd roof here and there, but I'm not really going to go into roof cleaning. And I've got it as a spare backup. So yeah, I've gone for the high mod. I did look at thinking about getting gardeners, because I like using the Gardener quick lock system on my brushes, so I can change brushes quickly. So I obviously use their swivel goosenecks. But I haven't got that money just to go out and buy a gardener's pole and use it. So that's why I've just stuck with the X-line ones. When I need to replace a section, it's cheaper to replace a section compared to buying a new pole. And you've got a lot of people who use gardeners. I know a lot of people are good with the, is it over 8? They like that pole. But everyone's got their own preferences, haven't they? So that's the problem with this kit. It's a lot of money to go out on a recommendation to use and then find you don't like it. It's probably best to ask another window cleaner, perhaps one you get on well with, and you can have a go with one of their old poles. Couldn't you use that for a week before going out fully buying one? I have used the Phantom pole. That's what I originally got my son, sorry, as well. That was really light, but it's very thin, and it's very easy for the sections to come completely out unless you're keeping your eye on the coloured band that they put on there, so you don't overextend it. That's what I like about the high mod, the nano poles from X-Line. They're bulbous, so without looking as you pull it, it just stops. So there's no way you can overreach. That's a really great feature. So I ended up giving the Phantom high mod away to a mate who was starting doing window cleaning on the side while he was doing his pressure washing. So it's being used, and I'm glad it's gone to a mate, you know what I mean, help him get going. I said use this rather than just spend a fortune on something. But it was a good pole, because I like their clamps. That's what I've put on my pole. But I haven't used anything else really. But I think a lot of people like the gardeners, but I do hear people moan about the build quality change, I would say. But again, what you hear and what actually happens are always two different things. I mean, with my high mod pole, it requires a lot of maintenance, and I think that'd be the same with any high mod. So there's pros and cons. So yes, it's nice and light, but I think it needs more maintenance. You use something else a bit heavier, but it needs less maintenance. It can take more hassle. So there's always trade-offs. And when something's a bit delicate, it's how you use it. If you push it too far, it's going to snap in it. And they do happen. So yeah, that's from my personal experience. I'll just try, sorry, some stuff are coming up in the chat for you. Your window wash, you've probably seen it all anyway. Okay, your cleaner window says use the OV8, but they are pricey. I think whatever you use is pricey really, isn't it? But once you buy into the system, that's what I find, just stick with it and just buy a spare section when you need it. It's like my gutter vac poles. The Skyvac ones, they're the carbon fibre poles. They are nice and light, but they're expensive if something happens to them. But that's why I give everything a good clean, make sure there's no grit in there. I even lube them up on the outside a little bit so they look brand new, and just do a lot of care. But then they'll last me, and they are handy, they are nice and light. So requires a lot of work, but look after your kit, looks after you, doesn't it? It's just like being a soldier with your rifle, really. Sorry, I don't know what that's response to, 3 or 4 months. Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm guessing that's for the spray bottle. Wow. That's definitely worth the money then, isn't it? That's impressive. Okay, I like the look of the water-fed poles from GVS Gutter Vac Systems. Yeah, we could have a look at them, I suppose. They do a lot of stuff, don't they? I suppose like spinner clean and that, but because I invested in X-Line equipment and I'm happy enough with it, I just stuck with that. I think it's a dilemma, isn't it, when you're setting out, going to buy kit and equipment, because there's so much stuff out there for you. But you know, once you've committed to something, you've invested in the old system, really, aren't you? But they ain't going to be all too far different from each other. It's just your own preference at the end of the day, I suppose. Okay, Cheddars only ever use gardener poles. Finds them good, although they do wear and spin unless looked after. I even have to, I'd say with the ones from X-Line, you're going to look after them. What I normally find, I don't know about you guys, is when you've re-lubed your pole up, I think sometimes I might have a little bit too much on there, or it's got on where the clamps are. You normally find the first day or so. It doesn't do it all the time, but sometimes you can get the odd little spin. But then when it starts to wear off, it's good as gold. But all you've got to do is tighten your clamp up a little bit, isn't it? And then think after a couple of days, loosen it back to your normal setting and just play around with it. Or that you could use the gardener poles, because like I said, I've got the X-Line ones and I've put the Phantom clamps on there, and the Phantom clamps are absolutely brilliant. Even when I've got a worn down section, they really grip them, and it gives me longer cleaning use rather than having to buy a new section so quick. And I think the ones that came with X-Line, they're a bit aggressive and they'd wear the pole down quicker, whereas I like the Phantom clamps. If you're going to put Phantom clamps on yours, I'd probably just buy one for the first section, because you're going to use that the most. And then if you like it, buy one for the second section, and another one, buy one for your third, fourth, or whatever sections you've got. Do it that way, rather than buying the whole lot in one go. It's probably cheaper to, I think when you buy like what sections 1 to 5 in one go, it's cheaper than buying it individual. But it's when you haven't got that sort of outlay money to go away, just buy it section at a time, do a test, and if you like it, crack on, isn't it? And you could probably do, like say, do the same with the gardener ones. Put your Phantom poles clamps, on there, and you might find they won't spin so much. Okay, Nelly saying his son swears by the OV8, but you prefer the Phantom. I know when he used it, I was surprised at how light the Phantom pole was, but the only thing I didn't like was you could overreach unless you're looking at what you're doing. And my son was concentrating more with his eyes on looking at the bottom of that section as it's coming through, than just kind of looking at the window and getting in there and cleaning the window quick. It was kind of slowing him down. But with the Nano, he's just straight up, because there's a positive stop when you get to that point. But like I say, each to their own. Okay, you have a Phantom 35, which you brought cheap at the cleaning show last time. Only use it when you have to. Yeah, that cleaning show in Stoneleigh Park, is it? They've always got good discounts there. I keep saying I'm going, but they always get hit by something that cleans me out and I've got no money. Because I always put certain money aside a month to pay me tax bill. And then if I've got anything left after me tax bill, that's a lump sum you've got then to go up to the show and then possibly look for stuff. You don't have to spend that money, but you've got it in the bank to maybe buy something where you're going to get 20% discount or whatever they've got on, and save you a lot of money that way. But I always get cleaned out. Like I said, December was bad. That wiped me out. So I'm not sure if I'll be going to the show. It'd probably be lastminute.com. It depends what my bank balance is. But I'd like to go up there. Keep saying I do, and it never does. Okay, Nelly, you said you've got a SLX 39. You think the quality is terrible compared to a few years ago. See, that's what I'd heard of other people as well about the gardeners. It was the build quality, and I think it was mainly the clamps, and I think even some people say on the pole has sort of gone a bit. But I've certainly, when I've been window cleaning, noticed a lot of window cleaners had, or still have, gardeners poles. You do see the OV8 a lot. I suppose a lot of people switching over to those. Yeah, gardeners getting left behind. So many companies bringing in new versions of poles out, so they need to up their game and keep up with what's going. Like even Ashley and AE Macintosh has got his own range of poles as well, with features he liked on there. But I must say, I do love the gardener's quick lock system and their swivel goosenecks. It's really easy to and quick to change the brushes, because I use two brushes, a DuPont and a flocked, and obviously use a flocked for leaded windows. I tend to use it on fascia, soffits and gutters as well, the flocked brushes. And solar panels, that sort of thing, or anything with where there's a window and it's got wooden frames, I go to flocked as well. So try and protect the paintwork a bit more for the customer. And the quick lock is very good at swapping them around. So I do like them from Gardeners. Okay, Ionics, I think they have a round anti-slip pole, but the OV8 is best for me. I think Squeaky Clean Dave always says because of his hands, he finds the OV8 is good for him to hold the pole, whereas a round one causes the problems with his hands to get aggravated. So he likes using the OV8 for that one. And I know he's a big Gardeners man before that one. I've always been tempted to give the OV8 a go, but because I've got the Nano, the high mod from X-Line, like I say, it's easy for me just to replace a section rather than buying a new pole. If I had loads of money, I would probably buy it and get one. But I know some people say things about that, but they've addressed it and brought different version clamps out, I think, to stop it spinning a bit, where the clamps wouldn't wobble. So I think whatever you get, there's always going to be something. But yeah, the build quality's got to be good, because at the end of the day, you're spending a lot of money, aren't you, on these things? I know everyone says they earn you a lot of money, but when you haven't got that sort of money to keep paying out, you want a pole that lasts, really, don't you? I know the section's always going to get worn. Wow, £300 at the show. That's bloody good. Was that when they first came out? Because I know they kind of probably sold everything, didn't they? It's really popular. I do love the clamps. I rate them. And I put them clamps on my Nano pole. Try and show you where it is, actually. I'll just try and find it. Yeah, this is the pole I've got, Carbon Nano. It's a 35 foot. It didn't start life. It was a 25 foot pole. I added a section to make it a 30. Then when I needed another section, I put a 35 foot one on there. And then what I do is I strip my pole down. So it's an 18 foot for most, probably 98% of my work. And then the odd time when I need to have a bigger pole than 18 foot, I just whack 3 sections together, which always stay together, on the bottom of my 18-foot pole, which basically turns it to a 35-foot pole. So when I'm reaching Velux windows high up, or solar panels, and some of them windows which are really well high, I whack that on there. I don't know if you can see all the stats, but it's got all the different heights and stuff. It is a solid pole. But like I say, I find the clamps, these ones, a bit aggressive. So what I do is I use the phantom clamps on there, and it's given me longer life out of each section. I think probably well over a year and a half, until I have to replace, say, the first section. But that's mainly down to the clamp. They're really good, the phantom clamps. Okay, OV8 have a quick lock. Oh, okay. And a swivel. I know they've got a swivel. I didn't know they had a quick lock system. But it depends what you want, isn't it? It's just what you go after. So that's handy to know. Oh, sorry, Your Cleaner Windows saying as well, same thing. OV8, a quick release. Yes, I was going to bring this up, that Darren from DA Components, new brush collections look really, really great. And yeah, very pricey. He's going to shift a load of them at the show, I think. I'll just try and get it up for you, actually. I should be careful when I say that. I mean the website. Let's get this up as well. I don't know where the tab is for the brushes, so bear with me. Water-fed brushes, here we go. I think I touched on it on the last show. Yeah, he's got these brushes. Ashley from Macintosh got a centre load from Darren, hasn't he? The old lot, all arranged, so you can do videos on them, which is going to be good to see. I like the fact you've got the swivel gooseneck, which you can lock off, so it can be fixed or swivel. I love that idea. and he's basically done it as well. So there you go, you twist the blue collar and it's locked, twist it again and it'll be a swivel one. This obviously will fit on the gardener's goosenecks, and then he's got various different fittings on there. So they'll fit all goosenecks basically, and obviously they go onto your brushes generic. So it's been a well thought out system. And then you've actually got the brushes themselves. He's got obviously different ones. I don't know that much about them. You'll probably know more than me. But you've got DuPont. He's obviously got flocked, and then he's got a mixture of DuPont and something else, a Boar's brush. There's lots of different setups. And then with these nozzles, you can change them. I was watching one of his videos on social media. So as standard, there'll be 2 jets, which will have V shape, so 2 jets of water come out in the shape of a V, and then you can have another just here, 2 V jets, or one where there's 4. So you could basically end up with a total of about 12 jets. So it looks similar to a rinse bar really, but you've got that customization where you can put different jets, fan jets or pencil jets in there, and have combinations of whatever you like. And then I think the material as well is different as well, the actual brush head itself. So it does look good. And the price, like I say, it's £62 here, and that's without, I suppose, all the extra gubbins that you may then add on top of that as well. But I think any brush you get tends to be expensive. The X-Line ones have gone up a lot from what they were. And the Gardener ones seem to be that little bit cheaper. I have thought about going for the Gardener's ones because a lot of you guys suggest I could use them because they're a lot lighter than, because my X-Line ones could be a lot heavier than some of the Gardener ones. But the X-Line brushes I use, they last me over 2 years until I have to change them. So yes, they're a little bit pricey, but they last longer. If I got something a bit cheaper and say it's going to last me 6 months and then I have to go and get another one, you might as well pay that little bit extra, haven't you? So I definitely get a lot of use out of it, and I use them all the time. So I'm going to stick with them brushes. If I had some money, I did think I'd try one of these, but probably the time I get to that, it'll be about 2 years later, and everyone's done all the videos about these and reviews. So yeah, I'm just happy with the X-Line one. I have thought of trying the Gardener's one just to see, but I'm more than happy with what I use, to be honest. So I'm just going back to the comments. Where were we? I'm probably saying these, and you probably already answered them in the chat. Do univalves fit in OV8 poles? I think they don't fit in the first section, but you can have it longer, so it'll be in the second section or at the bottom of the first section. I'm pretty sure. I know there is a way around it, so it is doable. And I think some people say, I can't remember who it was. Is it Exceed Innovations? You can send the pole and they'll fit it for you, but I'm pretty sure you'd be able to do it yourself, or you'd work something else out. I'm pretty sure, Ched, there is a way. I'm not sure if it'll completely go in the first section, like at the bottom of it, but I think a lot of people put it in the second section. DA brush is good. Love the pencil jet. So have you got one of you? Like I say, it's a good idea. I love the fixed and having it as a swivel. That's brilliant. And the customizations you're offered as well. But I'm happy with what I've got. But if I had the money, I'd probably have got one, but I haven't at the moment with these months. Maybe after summer, when we've had lots of good work and good weather, could probably all get loads. I think he's going to get cleaned out at this show. There's a lot of people be interested in him. He always does well, doesn't he? It's a good idea. Yes, they fit just below the first section. I think that's the univalve, Ched. Someone's, like I said, they've probably all answered for it. Okay, you've already seen that, yeah. Can't change the brushes quickly without having to unscrew from the new gooseneck. That was the only thing that was putting me off when I thought about the initial urge. I've got to get one of those ones from Darren because I like the gooseneck. I like the quick lock. And I've got everything set up that way, change the brushes. It works. I can do my work quick, so I'll probably stick with them, to be honest. We'll see. Right, Gardeners Extreme are great and very light. Yeah, it's very similar or roundabout. There's not much in it between that and the pole I've got, which is the high mod, the Nano one. But I'd say any high mod pole is light, and you've got to just be careful how you use it. Otherwise, it is going to break, and lots of maintenance, and they're going to wear quick. But everything's got a trade-off, isn't it? Whatever you get. Okay, X-Line brushes are the best, but I wish they'd do 1.4mm pencil jets as standard. I have to fit my own in each time. Yeah, maybe get in touch with James. I think if enough people did, they'd probably do something. But I suppose they've got to look at their end where it's viable. But we all got our own mods and stuff. But it is annoying, isn't it? It'd be handy if everything, you had choice where it's like, I say, just buy it off the shelf and use it rather than having to do little tweaks here and there. But I like my X-Line brushes. The DuPont one, 26cm with a rinse bar. I love the rinse bar, nine jets in it. And I have my water, my flow controllers on 30, and it just comes out fine for me on that one. Don't need it any higher. Okay, just put your quick lock ends onto the brush. Yeah, I that's what I do basically, mate. I've got the quick lock fittings from Gardeners on the brush head, and then obviously I use the quick lock gooseneck swivel one, and I absolutely love it. Oh, right, okay, sorry, not the pole, mate. The extreme brushes are very light. How long do you get use out of them? Because like I say, my X-Line one use, like I say, I'm doing 22 cleans a day, 5 days a week, say, and I can easily use it 2 years, no problem. And to be honest, I could probably still use it more. I just think it starts to look a bit misshapen, so I'll buy a new one. And what I tend to use is when I buy a new brush, the one on my main pole I take off, and then I'll go and stick it on my little 4-foot pole, because I don't use that all the time, just to get an extra bit of life out of it before I get rid of them. It's basically what I do, turning around my brushes anyway. Let me try and see. Okay, last X-Line brush I brought only lasted 2 months with hot water. Really? I don't use hot water, so I'm just cold water, so that could be why. Wow, that's pretty piss poor, isn't it? That surprised me. I say I get loads out of mine, which is a good job because I'm always skint. I doubt you get 6 months out of an extreme brush. I take it because it's so light. It's probably not got obviously as many nylon brushes and whatever material it is on there, so they're not going to last. But like I say, everything's got a trade-off, isn't it? If you want it really light, that's the way it is. And yeah, the X-Line brush is going to be a lot heavier, but it's going to last longer. So everything's got a trade-off. Everyone's different, haven't they? Got your own reasons why you like something or don't like it. Yeah, these are the brushes from X-Line. Look, DuPont with a rinse bar, and it's £71, 40p. Okay, including VAT. So it's pretty much on par with Darren's, isn't it, from DA Components? All around about the same. When I first bought these, they were like 50 quid. Now you're thinking 70 quid, over 70 quid for a brush. It's just amazing how much things have gone up, isn't it? Something people don't realise, or your customers take into account how much all this kit you use actually costs. Okay, yeah, Ched's just saying the extreme brushes are so light, stock and few bristles, but 35 metre brush is about 140 grams. Wow. My 26-metre one, that's 229 grams, and that's a 35cm brush. So there you go. You want something nice and light. Okay, do people find a 35-foot is generally suitable for Velux windows on domestic work? The Veluxes I clean are generally in extensions, so I take it not going to be so high up, but they're but I do could do with the capability to reach ones on the roof. I use my 35-foot pole definitely to get to some houses. Some houses are clean, 25-foot brush reaches a Velux window, so I suppose it varies. And also you've got to stand back far enough sometimes, haven't you, so you can actually see what you're cleaning, so you need that extra reach. When I first started, and obviously your budget's really, really tight, I couldn't afford extensions on my brushes, so I had a 25-foot pole. And what I used to do is stand on a step ladder, which would look odd. And then from the step ladder, that would then allow me to use my 25-foot pole to reach the Velux window. And that's how I used to get around it until I decided I need to buy an extra section. So then I brought a section to make it a 30-foot pole. And then later on, when that was become too short, I brought a section to make it 35. And then instead of having it as a 35-foot pole, like I say, I strip it down to 18. Put the 3 sections straight away on the bottom when I need something longer, and then take that off as soon as I can to try and make it as light as possible, because it's your body you've got to look after at the end of the day. So my answer to that one, mate, is just get a 35-foot, or the sections to make it a 35-foot pole when you need it. I suppose you're thinking it's nice to have, so when that problem comes up, you're not like having to explain to the customer you can't do it this time, you have to go and buy something. You've already got it, so that's your call. But worst case scenario, just think you could always use a ladder, couldn't you, to reach it, to get round it anyway until you buy the item. Makes reaching over Connie's extensions much easier, less strain on your arms. Yeah, having the extensions, and sometimes though I won't make it a 35-foot pole because the angle's almost horizontal. I find to have a lighter pole, but just to stand on my step ladder, as long as it's tall enough to then reach the window. That's what I do a few times as well. Okay, do people find a 35-foot poles long enough to ring the roof on domestic work? The tallest houses I clean, to reach the Velux windows, I need my 35-foot pole. I don't quite need to buy another extension to make it a 40-foot. So 35 foot's enough for me, mate. I don't know if the other guys on here will probably give you their experience. Excuse me. Or you could get another pole, couldn't you, where it's smaller, and then always add the extensions on as you need them, rather than going straight for a 35-foot pole. But then again, you'll probably get good deals for a 35-foot pole, like you're saying, at the show. Just pick people's brains, and I suppose when you're at the show, you can always grab these things, hold them, and try and resist the urge to instantly buy it and sit back a bit and think a bit more. And then probably walk around asking other people's opinions when you're having a chat with other people, to kind of see what way you're going to sway, I suppose. Oh, what have I done here? Okay, sorry, Ched, mate. I misread what you meant. Lighter brush for better going over extensions. Okay, less strain in your arms, which is true. Because you can see when your pole's got a bit of it's going to always have a bit of a bend in there anyway to stop the pole from breaking. But obviously the heavier the brush, the more, like you say, strain on the pole as well. And then it's on your arms. So it could even be worth me just buying a lighter brush and having it for those situations, and then perhaps still using my X-line brush for everything else, especially when it's a quick lock system. It's easy to take off, change around. And then maybe your lighter brushes from gardeners will last you, or last me, longer doing it like that. There's always ways, isn't it? You just think things up here and there. No worries. I hope it's helpful, but everyone else in here will probably got better advice than me. It's just a big outlay, isn't it? Nelly's saying he used a 39-foot pole. Like I say, I've thought of getting enough on mine to make it a 40-foot. I don't think I need anything bigger than that. That's all right. Happens to me as well. Extreme flocked, okay, will be good for me anyway for reaching. Got you. Take it because they're the lightest ones. Could still be worth a punt. Like I said, for the particular really awkward angles, there's always going to be a window that's awkward to get to. Because I work with my son and my daughter, and my son's got his sclerosis, my daughter tends to focus more on the lower ones using the trolley systems. She can do upper windows, but she was never really as confident to have a go at them. And it's like when I first started, I used to pay attention to the bottom windows, watch how cleaning the window the way I did it was affecting the window and how I clean. And then realised when I do the upper windows, I've just got to do the same thing, but obviously I can't see as well. So you tend to take a bit longer on the upper windows than the lower, don't you? Until you get that confidence. So I tend to do all the awkward ones anyway. And it just, when there's three of it just feels like that's all I'm doing. So yeah, then brushes could probably come in really handy. It's worth a shout. No worries, Ched, mate. Yeah, dry, wind-free week, everyone. I think that's what we're all praying for, isn't it? But they do say it's getting colder, and it's definitely felt colder. Take care, Ched, mate. Thanks for coming in. So yeah, all these brushes, different poles. I don't think there's too much in it. They all try and do something slightly different to each other, don't they, to reach a certain market. But I think at the end of the day, they all take care and maintenance. And you've got to tweak things to make it how you want it, really. I did think it might be worth showing some of the websites, I'll keep that there, that I go to for kit and equipment. So we'll go for that, actually, if that's all right with you guys. Because I'm aware of the time. It's already been an hour, so I'll probably finish soon. Obviously got DA components. I like to use the IPC for like what the guys on Trad use. See if I can find it. There we go, IPC Technopad. I've got one. And we like using that. It fits on your an end cone, like for a traditional pole, but you can stick end cones in your water-fed pole. And that's obviously great to get messy stuff off windows. Same as the, I've still got the walnut pad holder that he does as well. I like using that on conservatories. But you do a little bit of trad, not a lot at all now. But I still like that. It still comes in handy, doesn't it, as something to fall back onto. But he does lots of other various things as well. So Darren's quite good. The walnut pads as well, like using them. Then obviously you've got Spinner Clean. Because I've got an Industrial 85. See if I can find it for you. That's I brought the big kit from there. I've got these carbon fiber poles. I've got 8 poles altogether, and then I've got the generator. So I've got this one here, Skyvac 85. Obviously, I've had to replace the motors on that. That was 500 quid, but I managed it. But yeah, I absolutely love that. And I know you got GVS from Guttervac Systems. I know a lot of people, they're very popular as well. And someone else I like using, obviously, is X-Line, because all my kit's basically X-Line anyway. So I use them a lot. These guys are really, really good. The Window Cleaning Centre, based in Ipswich. I was born in Ipswich, so I'm from Felixstowe, so Ipswich Town doing really well this season. Happy with that one. And these are from Ipswich as well. So I get most of my traditional stuff from these guys, to be honest, or the window cleaning warehouse, but I like getting it from these guys. They're really, really good, and they do stuff window cleaning warehouse don't do as well. So do a whole range like sorbos and you name it. They've got loads of stuff on here. It's really good. That's handy. It's a good shout if you want anything to do with trad, cement remover, that sort of thing. Obviously window cleaning warehouse as well. Get a few items off them. And then you've got gardeners as well, because I like using the goosenecks, the quick lock system. And I just keep an eye on things in here, really, to be honest. Exceed innovations for the obvious, for the uni valves, they're really good. And they do obviously X-Line stock their stuff as well. But I think you get more warranties if you buy from Exceed Innovations. So these are ones I tend to look to as well. I agree with you, Nelly, as well, when it comes to the polls, and that all comes down to personal preference. And sometimes you just buy into a system, don't you? And then you kind of just stick with it. Oh, sorry, pressed the wrong button. Totally agree with you there as well. But I think no matter what pole you use, you're still going to have to do your maintenance. There's nothing you're going to use, not do any maintenance to it, and it lasts you forever. So it's probably, if you look on the market for something, see if there's a second-hand one going, and then you can try it, can't you? Or if you know another window cleaner and you notice what kit, they just ask questions, isn't it? You're always looking at what other people have got and what they tend to be using, don't you? But it's not necessarily a good way of weighing up whether someone's a good window cleaner or not. I suppose a good window cleaner is one that's always working. God, I'm always working, but that's because I'm skint. A lot of things go wrong in it. The busier you are, the more things go wrong, I'm sure. Excuse me. But yeah, I just wanted to say, really, that spring is getting here. It's coming. People are starting to see it, starting to believe it, but I don't think they're quite convinced. But it's all going to come in. We're going to get these extra work, conservatory roofs, the fascia softs and gutters, even gutter clears as well. And everyone's going to be thinking of using the hot weather to get stuff done, aren't they? But then the windows are going to take longer to clean, because what you're going to end up with is all the pollen, the young birds out nesting, and they're going to be attacking those windows with bird shite and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to take a lot longer to clean. That's why I brought this, one of these scrapers. I've got the old Unger Ninja scraper, but I find that's quite handy to have in your side pocket, because I thought when I'm cleaning the downstairs windows, rather than using the old fingernails or the walnut pad holders, just get that out, scrape. It's all about speed at the end of the day, but obviously using it safely so you don't scratch anything. So yeah, I've got myself one of these, and all the kids. Quick and easy to use, handy in your pocket all the time. And then away you go. So I'll be using them soon, because like I say, all the pollen, the insects, the spiders will be back out in force and all over the place, won't they? It's coming. And then the summer, and then the depression of when winter starts to arrive. But it is getting there. Wildlife is starting to show, isn't it? The fields are hopefully going to start getting better. I've actually seen some tractors this week out in the fields. Only some fields. So hopefully that's another sign everything's getting better as well. All right. Unless anyone's got anything else to say, I'll probably call it a night and say thank you very much for tuning in. It's been great, everyone on here chatting as well. Speaking about polls, helping each other out. That's what it's all about, really, isn't it? And if you're down the show, obviously have a good one. Hopefully I might make it. I don't know. I'd like to go down there with my son so he can have a walk around, and then, see what it's all about. Yeah, Nelly, you're right there with the old jet washing. The mate that I helped out, he's big into jet washing. He loves all that. And I've seen on his social media posts, he's doing lots of good work. So it's good there, but I don't do that. I'm just the window cleaning. Yeah, the depression of winter, it hits. All right, no worries, mate. Thank you. I hope everyone has a good one. All right, have a good week. Stay safe. And then hopefully we can push it through to the end of the month. And then basically we're saying, instead of what a good week, it's been a good month. That's what we're all praying for.